What does a high-performing marketer, entrepreneur, and philanthropist all have in common? You're about to find out in this podcast. You're about to meet an amazing man named David Dunworth. Not only is he an expert marketer, he is a man with a vision, with a heart to change the world. And that, to me, is so amazing. So let's get to it. I want to bring David on. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the Stroke of Genius Show, Executive Experience. And now, here's your host, CEO Aaron Avila.
Hello, David. Good
Hey,
morning.
good day to you too, Aaron.
It's really great to have you here. You know that when I introduce the show, I mean you're a top level marketer.
Well, thank you.
You take people from zero to hero.
That's what I like to say, and zero is where you're stuck and you can't seem to find your way forward. And hero is when you reach that top of that peak that you're trying to climb. And so you can stand there, wave your arms, say, hey, I'm it. I finally made it. I did it. But it's not an easy trail. So just remember that. I like to stay humble as much as I can because that's where the real person is, not the guy you see on in the movie screens and stuff like that.
Right.
You got to be humble. You got to be contrite, and you got to be yourself. And that's what I try to do.
Well, to get that is what we're going to touch on three, which we're going to touch on the philanthropist part about you, where you really are trying to get an impact. You never talked a little bit. In fact, for people out there that can't see, David and I shared a few tears because we have a passion to help people.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Good.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying that we have passion. We want to use our money to make the world a better place.
I'll tell you an interesting story so that your viewers and listeners kind of get a feel for who I am. My whole career, I was a high-performing executive in the high-end hospitality world. I mean, high-end. I'm talking about the private club industry. I worked for the embassy in London. I've lived all over the world. But I've also been broke. I've also lived in my car, and I know because I've seen rich cultures and poor cultures. I've stood next to presidents and sheiks and senators and congressmen, you name it, from all over the world. But I've also been homeless. And I've seen poverty in a lot of different countries. I lived in South America. I lived in Korea. I even lived way up in the Arctic Circle in the top of Greenland, just short distance from the North Pole, and then all over the United States too. But I found that when I was really just myself instead of trying to put on a show, I'm really an introvert, and that may be hard to believe. I don't know, but that's why I like to write, is so I can get my thoughts out and so forth. But after I retired from the club business, I got seriously into marketing. And I had a marketing agency. But in 2020, I was an early COVID victim. In February of 2020, I came down with COVID, and I tried to go to the hospital. And 2 different hospitals rejected me because they didn't know anything about it yet. It was so early that they hadn't done any testing. They didn't know anything. There was no such thing as a vaccine or anything like that. And they said, go home and take care of yourself. Well, I was in bed until the middle of May. That's 10 weeks. And during that time, Jesus put it on my heart to say, you've been working real hard. You've been climbing that ladder, but you got it on the wrong building.
My goodness.
Come and do my work. And so from that day on, because I couldn't care for my clients, I I shut my business down. And I have been working ever since with foundations, NGOs, and ministries. And I donate my time. I do writing for them. I create all kinds of marketing assets for them, that kind of stuff. And I do it for free out of my heart. I also found, even before COVID, I had found an opportunity to sponsor a child in Africa. Well, now I have 14 children, and I support them all out of my earnings, which I made $250 in 2021. So I've been using my savings to do all of that and support these children, because you know why? These kids end up, the girls are not generally allowed to go to school because they have to carry water for the family, and they go miles to find water. And the boys usually get stuck helping the father garden their little plot. So when they get tired of that, the girls end up leaving home and getting sex trafficked. And the boys, when they leave home, they get into forced labor. And you see about it all the time. The cobalt mines get a little 5-6-year-old kids, 10-year-old boys. They take them out on a fishing boat on Lake Victoria, and they have to dive for 8 or 10 hours a day, pulling up an oyster there or whatever. And so I put them in school. I house them. I feed them. We even put clothes on them, and they get basic health care. Basic. You need a Band-Aid or a pill. They'll do it for you. But if you need surgery or see a doctor, then it's on their own. So I help as much as I can with that. And I call that strategic philanthropy, because I do everything that I do with the purpose in mind. And philanthropy is a very misunderstood word. Philanthropy is really, the definition of it is the love of humankind. And so that's why I do it. But being that 3.5 years of giving away my savings has caused me to come back to work. And so I'm building a new type of hybrid coaching program, and it's called Marketing Mastery. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but it looks like you're posing a question. Are you asking for a question there?
Yeah, I do have some questions. I would like to ask some questions. I'm curious, why should people listen to you versus other people saying they're marketing masters? Why should people come to you for help?
Well, the people that I target are not everyday entrepreneurs. They're looking at social media, trying to figure out how to build that, or they're trying to do this or trying to do that. But most executives who have a client list, like an attorney or a dentist or a chiropractor or a wellness practitioner or a coach or a speaker, they all book appointments for their living, and they don't know how to create enough influence and impact that people actually seek them out. And that's what I help them do. So that's why everybody should have some type of marketing coach, whether it's part-time, whether it's full-time, whether it's just a friend who has marketing expertise to help you along the way, to give you the logic behind it, because it's filled with psychology, human behavior, and linguistics. And most people don't have that 3-part mix. So that's the best I can answer on that particular question. Did I do okay?
Yeah, you did great. It's funny, David, that I was in business for myself 12 years before my stroke, my brain aneurysm, and marketing was kind of an untouchable. There's only certain people that do it. But I think you really hit it on the head when you said marketing with a purpose. You and I have a purpose. We take our own money, our own savings, we help people.
Yep.
And so we can take what our skill set in the business world and use that to generate income. We can help people. And we have our purpose. So
that's why I do it. Yep.
To me, that's amazing. But say someone is stuck out there with a marketing firm that is not marketing well, that's not performing well. What is the person? What do we do as a recourse as an entrepreneur, as a CEO? What recourse do we have on them?
Well, what I've found, and I've worked with hundreds of people, and I've spoken to thousands of people and interviewed a lot. And what I find more than anything else is that because people don't know marketing, they don't necessarily like it. They have a fear of it. They try to copy off of one of their competitors and see if that works. Well, what they forget is that guy probably copied it from somebody else. And so you don't know what works and what doesn't work until you start getting some coaching. And the other part of why entrepreneurs can't seem to make it is what I call shiny object syndrome. And they're always trying to look for that magic bullet. Well, there isn't one. There isn't a magic bullet. Because marketing, especially with AI now, it's evolving so quickly that unless you're on top of that, and believe me, I'm not on top of it yet, but I'm working on it. You're just lost in a sea of others, and that's the problem.
And that's really what I hear, what I'm gathering, really what makes you different. Number one, you have a mission, you have a vision, you have a purpose. Number two, you're targeting market. You're not just, as you said in my research, spray and pray and spray.
Pray and spray. Yeah, we
Pray
talked
and
about
spray
that.
marketing. And I look back in my days, I was a prayer and sprayer. I did.
Well, and most people, because they don't have that knowledge or that wisdom, they're trying to find what is going to work for them. And marketing is very, very, very targeted. And if you try to, if I were to ask, what's your market? You would say, well, everybody can use my service. Well, if you're marketing to everybody, you're not marketing to anybody, because there's so much noise out there. There's so much noise. We're getting bombarded with 1,500 to 2,000 messages throughout a single day. Everybody. You tune most of them out because we're just overwhelmed by it. So if you figure out who your ideal audience is, and let's say it's bakers. Let's say you sell flour and yeast and things like that for a living. Well, bakeries are my client. Well, there's an awful lot of different kinds of bakers.
Right.
So what's the one you feel the best about, that like you, that really appreciate you? Well, maybe it's that French pastry bakery. Well, there's more than one in the country, and so if you narrow that list down, that niche, into a very finite individual, bang, you target that, you create all your messaging for that particular audience. When you're writing something, picture that French baker, pastry shop in your mind and write to that person or speak to that person. Well,
yeah, I think for me, Dave, that when I heard you telling me about marketing and really getting that niche marketing down, because I'm a niche. I'm myself a niche. I began to really kind of understand marketing for the first time. I understood what I needed to do, and I'm excited. You and I were talking in the green room before the show, and we're gonna try doing some work together. I'm really looking forward to it, because
I am too. I'm looking forward to because I know we can have success. It's just a matter of how much effort we put into it and how much time, because it's not a flip the switch and it works type of thing. There's trial and error, just like anything else.
Well, I think success. I think what makes us different, I'm going to use us, is that the purpose. Our purpose is to make money. Isn't just to put a pool in the backyard. Like you got a really nice pool in your backyard right now.
I'm sorry, there's a phone ringing. I can't shut off.
No, don't worry about it. Look at my green skin.
Sorry. I don't know where I put it.
But I'm just saying that the purpose is to make the world a better place and to help people.
Yeah, when you have purpose, you're driven by the passion that you have for that purpose. And so if you truly have the passion, you'll do anything it takes to make that passion a reality. And you don't have to be a philanthropist. If you in your heart know that you were meant to be a speaker, a coach, a dentist, a bricklayer. If you know in your heart you want to be the very best bricklayer you can because you want to have the finest buildings, and by God, you're going to succeed because it's in your heart. It's not here. It's in your heart. And that's what makes all the difference. It's finding that passion
Heart-based
and holding it.
marketing. Heart-based marketing, really.
Yeah,
Heart-based marketing.
heart-based marketing. That's exactly right. You know what? There's a great book by Steve Farber, and it's a great book, and I recommend everybody get it. It's called Love is Love is Just Damn Good Business,
Yeah.
and it's how to inject humanity. Work, leading with your heart. It's a great book, and I've read it twice now, and I'm really fond of it. So that's a tip for you and all your readers.
All right, well, that's great.
All your listeners.
I'll put the link to the book in the note section of the podcast. So
Yeah, it
please look at
just came to me as we were talking.
that is what's all about heart-based marketing. Right now, we're just speaking heart-based.
Right.
And I think, with the passion. See, I believe, Dave, and I think this may resonate with you too, that everybody on the face of the earth was given a gift, birth.
Absolutely.
And they need to, everybody, if you're out there, you're listening to this podcast, you don't know what your gift is. I'm going to, David, bear with me a minute.
Oh,
I'm
of
going
course.
to give them a secret of finding out the gift is. How you can identify your gift is.
Okay.
Take the easiest thing, the best thing you do in your life, the best thing you do in life with the least amount of effort. That's how you know what your gift is. Because a gift, like David, look at cheeks. His gift has made room for him, taking him places where he would never go without it.
Right.
I'm telling you have a gift right now, and you can find that gift. If you go look at your life, back up, look at the big picture. Whatever you do to better your life with the least amount of effort is that gift. Pursue it. Go for it. It's what you're born to do. And that's what makes David's heart-based marketing. David, I want you for your time not doing this time was going to go by, but let's talk a little bit about the new magazine you got. And I'm going to pull up the cover of my dear sister, Tricia Bann from C-Suite. She is CEO of C-Suite Network, but you also have a special offer. I'm going to pull that up right now.
Sure.
There is the Influence Magazine. Tell us about that project.
Okay. Well, Influence Magazine today is a periodical that I put together, and I asked Tricia because I like her, I know her. You and I are friends with her, and you're her brother. I'm probably her cousin, but I'm working my way closer into the family. But she's a great gal, and she's got a super story. And so I asked her if I could feature her in this month's edition. And she said yes. So there she is. And right now, if you go to that QR code, you can get a free 3-month subscription, no strings attached. At the end of December, if you don't want to continue, no problem. But if you also sign up for the magazine, I will give you a book that isn't even published yet. It's going to be published on Monday or Tuesday. And it's called Your Saturday Night Business Plan Has a Fever.
Oh my God.
And it's all about out of gate business models. So there's a lot of information in there about how to identify what's wrong with your business and how to fix it. So, and that's for free. That's for signing up for the magazine.
I want to put that up on the screen more time. Take your phone, scan the QR code. David is going to give you not just the 3-month free subscription to his magazine. He's about to give you a free ebook that hasn't even been published yet. He's now, in fact, by Eventbrite towards the end of this month, you're shooting for, right? You're going to launch it. You're going to launch a free book.
Yes. Yes. I have another book that's coming out around the 23rd. I think it's the 23rd of October. That is called Become the One, the Only One. And it's for influencer wannabes. You want to jack up your influence and be the top of the market in your niche, this book will be for you. And so that'll be launched, and there'll be 99-cent copies of the digital copy available that day. And then the hardcover launch comes the 1st of November.
Yeah, somebody is so amazing that things have changed. Like your marketing strategy has got to change, has been changing. The way you marketed back when I had my business 15 years ago, so much different. Like you said, there's so much white noise out there. Yep. There's so many people, like you just said in the opening of this podcast, we have bombarded with over 2,000 pieces of marketing material. So what's going to set us apart? David, your service will offer that.
I appreciate that. You're welcome.
So what is the best way somebody can get a hold of you? What is the best way?
Just my email address, and that's the easiest thing in the world. It's my name, David J. Dunworth. It's right on the screen there at gmail.com.
All right.
That's as easy as it is.
And you offer I imagine you offer free consults.
Oh yeah, I give everybody, if they want an hour consult, by God, I'm a giver. And so, yeah, I will help them for no reason. And I do not try to sell anybody either, because if they don't ask me, they're not interested. So That's fine. I never ask.
Wow, that little attitude is really great.
You know what?
Really refreshing.
Not everybody is going to resonate with your message, Aaron. And your listeners and your viewers know that there's only a small amount of people, even in the niche that you're focusing on, that are really going to say, wow, he's speaking to me, or she must be reading my mind. And that's when you found an ideal client. And so if you model your ideal client after the people who you're attracting, you're only going to get better.
Yeah, I think, I was doing my research on it, and that stuck with me. That because when I find that ideal client, that ideal stroke survivor, that whatever it is, that's when things will change. That's when my audience will increase on the podcast. I'm happy to do whatever influencing I could do right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it would be nice to touch more people. And sure. I think so, David, I'm curious. If you were to say, give us one golden nugget today in marketing, what can we do that will improve our marketing right starting today? What do you suggest doing?
Well, I would figure out exactly who you are and be honest with yourself. There's things that are good about you. There's things that are not so good about you. Nobody is perfect. There's flaws in everybody. Figure out what those flaws are and try to minimize them and eliminate them. from your heart, not your brain, from your heart. The real you. And it'll change your whole life. It'll change your whole attitude about yourself. You're going to project yourself with more confidence because you're going to know that you're speaking from the truth, the real truth, not the version that you want to tell the world. And stop chasing the money. That's the other half of that thing. Because when you're your real self, you attract people, and there's more money in the world. There's more than enough for everybody. So just do your best to be yourself and use, like you said, everybody's got gifts. Use them for the betterment of mankind.
Wow, that is, really what it comes to. I think stop chasing the money is something that God has been bringing me to.
Well,
Yeah. It's easier to look, I got money, I need money, I mean, to meet the word. But that becomes a secondary driving force. Your passion, your love is your driving force.
Absolutely. That's the key to it. Just think of it this way, an easy way to think about it. If your client, you're trying to chase the next client, it's like a bear in the woods. When the bear looks at you, you look like lunch, and he's going to start after you, and you're going to run from that bear. So if you're hunting for a bear, you're going to run. And that's what clients do. The more you chase them, the faster they run. So attract them with your heart, attract them with your messaging, and they'll come magnetically.
Yeah, it's authentic. It's real. We both know that people are attracted to authenticity. For it used to be that we were taught by talking heads and CEOs, and
Right.
now it's heart-based. Really, society is changing that way.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you being out there, putting heart-based marketing. Really, it's a refresh to me.
Yeah.
David, this half an hour, like I said, we're
Yeah,
going to be
where to
back
go
on.
already?
I know, right? We're great. But to have you back in the show, we're going to be talking about this again because it's something
I'd be happy to. Yeah. I look forward to seeing you tonight because we'll be on C-Suite Celebrates tonight. So
yeah, we might as well give a little plug for them. Anybody, you want to be a member of the best network group on the planet, it's called C-Suite Network.
C-Suitenetwork.com.
Repeat it one time.
It's the letter C hyphen Suite, SUITE network, NETWORK.com. C-Suite Network. And tell them Aaron invited you.
Dave, I think, see Jeff Hazelite, which he's now he's not CEO, Trisha's CEO.
He's graduated to founder and chairman of the board.
That's what it does.
And our relative Trisha has taken the CEO spot, which she was always been doing the work anyway.
Right. You're just a title. But
I just love her.
I got to tell you, David, before we go, Jeff Hazlett has impacted my life big time. Not because his business, not because he's an amazing man business-wise, but because he marketed with his heart. He looked at me with his heart, and he did art. He was motivated by his heart. I am grateful for him. I'm grateful for everyone in the C-Suite Network. But David, thank you for being here. I really,
it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
And again, anybody out there in the listening to the podcast, please go to the description. I'll put links there to books and links to resources, links to C-Suite Network. Definitely come there. David, we will talk to you later, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Well, thanks for inviting me. It's been a real treat.